Hey y'all, it is February the 27th, 2023. And, I just wanted to go ahead and peruse through the rest of this here Twitter thread that we started on the previous video and get our wherewithal of the chaos and the calamity and the utter confusion that's being displayed by Dr. Nicole LaPura. Shout out to her. I have nothing against her. I wish her all the best and God bless her. But this lady is slipping and tripping, right? She doesn't really have a clue of what Mr. Nice Guy is. And I don't blame her because she has a wife and a lady on the side and they're doing their throuple thing. I don't expect her to be an expert on men, right? So God bless her and I hope she sells many books. I don't have no problem with that, but she does not know what she's talking about, apparently, on this thread. And let's just dive into it. Again, Dr. Nicole LaPura says, number 5, hypermasculinity. A coping mechanism where a male, see, she's talking about Mr. Nice Guy, quote, Mr. Nice Guy. When you picture Mr. Nice Guy in your head, it's the first thing that you think about hypermasculinity. Or is Dr. Nicole LaPura slipping and tripping? All right. So, hypermasculinity, a coping mechanism where a male creates a false self that is macho, that's macho of misogynistic. I can't barely read what she's saying because let me try to read it again. A coping mechanism where a male creates a false self that's macho of misogynistic. I don't even understand how that sentence makes sense. All right. 6, self-abandonment. These are the qualities of Mr. Nice Guy. Self-abandonment. 7, addiction. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. All right. If you're a Mr. Nice Guy, might you be addicted to this and that? Yeah, perhaps. But it's non sequitur. All right. Anybody could be addicted to some stuff. It doesn't have anything to do with it. Number 8, violence. Acting out in ways of violence to their own emotions, inability to self-regulate to their own emotions. Think about your emotions if you're a man out there. Do your quote emotions have the ability to regulate themselves? What the hell does that mean? Is this lady, she's a doctor who went to school for it? All right. Dr. Nicole LaPura says it's clear that our society has men who are deep in emotional suffering. It's clear to her because she's an expert. Males make up 49% of the population, but nearly 80% of the self-deletions are men. Of that, see, every now and then she says something that's coherent. And it's actually statistically can be proven as to be correct, right? So I'm not saying that everything she's saying is totally incorrect. I'm saying like 85% of what she's saying has nothing to do with anything. And she's sincerely confused about what she's talking about. It's Dr. Nicole LaPura. She said it's a myth. She said it's a myth that men are less emotional, and not surprising that repressing our emotions and not understanding them causes issues. It's not surprising that repressing our emotions and not understanding them causes issues. When she says our emotions, I believe she's speaking on behalf of ladies. So what she's saying is that when ladies repress their own emotions and they don't understand the causes of them, that causes men to bottle up their emotions on the inside, or something. I'm struggling to understand what the hell she means by any of this. Right? But she's a doctor, right? That's the thing about it. She sells all these books, and God bless her. It's like, dude, I wish I could make a decent living churning out gobbledygook, all right? Research from Harvard shows male children are actually more emotionally expressive than female children. Thank you, Harvard, for enlightening all of us. We have to teach young boys that true strength is about vulnerability. I don't know if we're going to get through this whole thread. Because honestly, is this where it ends? I don't know. Honestly, like, we could break this down for hours and hours, all right? We're gonna read a little bit further, but we could break this down. This could be a college course about how confused one lady can be on a particular topic. Remember, she's talking about Mr. Nice Guy or something and trying to help him out, right? I would like to help out Mr. Nice Guys out there as well by saying, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to have much, much more success if you stop trying to be so nice. Right? And this is why you're acting more or less dysfunctional, and this is why you finish last in regards with the ladies anyways. So I would like to help out Mr. Nice Guy as well. I would like to help out Dr. Nicole LaPera, who sincerely has a problem on her hands. All right, so we have to teach young boys that true strength is about vulnerability. We don't have all day long for this. All right, we have to teach young boys that true strength is about vulnerability. And y'all heard it before. Some lady, maybe a girlfriend, or you've heard it before, somebody else's girlfriend saying, hey, why don't you be vulnerable with me? Why don't you be vulnerable and show your emotions? Why don't you talk about your emotions with me? And there's always exceptions to the rules out there. There's people out there living wild lives that I can't imagine. I'm not saying there aren't. But the rule is, just to let y'all know, for Mr. Nice Guy out there, if you happen to get a lady, right? If she is like really desperate like that, and she's entertaining you for a while, if you're Mr. Nice Guy out there and you happen to get a lady and she tells you to be vulnerable, she's asking you to be vulnerable, it's actually a trick. And I don't mean that she's conscientiously trying to trick you into anything. It's actually subconscious, because speaking in general, the lady, she might beg you to be vulnerable with her and describe all your emotions to her and stuff. But as soon as you do, all right, in the back of her mind, in her subconscious, something's going to click, and she's going to begin to not be attracted to you at all anymore. You might say, then why all these girls out here asking their men to be more vulnerable? Why are all these girls out there? Why is that commonplace that they keep asking men out there to discuss their emotions at great length? Why does that keep happening? It's because the woman is subconsciously trying to sabotage her relationship with that man. That's why. Because if he ever messes around and gets vulnerable to her and starts discussing his wide spectrum of emotions with her, let's just say her downtown bonanza is going to dry up like the Sahara Desert, all right? It's going to be done for, buddy. Many guys have made this mistake, unfortunately, and unfortunately, you just can't do it. As we're going to go ahead and finish off this little thread, I just want to say, for any men out there who might be feeling vulnerable, might be in a tough spot, might be getting depressed because something as bad happened to them recently, yeah, you might want to get it off your chest. You might want to be, quote, vulnerable, or perhaps discuss some emotions that you're feeling. And if you are feeling this way, might I suggest, and I've been told the same, is to find a man who you can trust, probably an elder man, and discuss these things with him. The reason is because don't dare discuss them with a lady. Don't discuss them with any lady, because she has no idea to help you in that regard. She has no idea what you need to do as a man in order to get your stuff together. She has zero clue typically. There might be 1 in 1,000 ladies out there who might have some idea what you should do as a man, but chances are you don't know that lady. You need to find a man to talk to him about it. You need to find a man to talk to you about how to be a man. Believe it or not. Not a lady, because like I said, her attraction to you will fall off the table and it'll fall off the map. All right? If she had any attraction for you at all, you run around being Mr. Nice Guy. The thing is, she's probably just entertaining you for the moment anyways, waiting for a different kind of man to show up, right? So Dr. Nicole Pereira, she goes on to say, understanding what they're feeling, learning to express it, learning how to emotionally connect with other people, and how to cope with anger. All right. Our men need healing. Please share this thread for awareness. Well, I did share your thread, Dr. Nicole Pereira, and you're welcome. And I believe I did spread awareness about total, utter confusion that unfortunately you're experiencing right now. And I would like to help you out with it, but you would never spend 5 seconds trying to hear me out in this regard. You would call me misogynistic. You would say I hate ladies and I hate my mom and I hate this and that. And I actually don't. I actually love everybody in the world. And I've said this multiple times. And when I say I love everybody in the world, I bet you would be like, oh no, he's actually lying. He doesn't love everybody. He hates women. I turn around and I say, no, actually, I love women the most. I love women the most. And then Dr. Nicole Pearl would say, oh, he's misogynistic and he secretly hates women. And that's why he says don't get vulnerable with them and open up about their feelings in order to completely obliterate any chance that you have with the future with any lady that you do it with. Right? So I'll holla at y'all perhaps if I get the notion. And I want y'all to stay up out there. And I know it's chaos and calamity. I know everything's falling apart and it's making things quite difficult. I understand that, but more or less it's a test from God as to our fortitude. And it's like testing us to see whether or not we can keep it together in these trying times. Right? Ah, holla. It is February the 27th, 2020, 2023.